Dear learners, welcome to video 2. I'm Jade, your tutor for this lesson. Today, we will begin with the topic demand. The concept of demand is a basic concept in market economy. The price system will determine how resources, products, and services are distributed. Distribution is made based on wants and the ability to pay. Anyone who has wants and is willing to pay or will obtain what is required. In this topic, we will look at the operation of market system through the concept of demand.
Hello Bobby. I know that you applied for a job to this company. And as you know, the demand of the product is rising and we need more people to work. So I'm going to ask you some questions to determine if you are the right person for this job. Good luck. Okay, first question is, what is demand?
Well sir, demand is being ready, willing and able to purchase, and without demand economics would not exist.
That's right. Alright, ready for the second question? What is the law of demand and give me an example?
Well sir, the law of demand is when all else is equal, people want more stuff when it gets cheaper. If gas was $1 instead of $4, people would buy more gas to go out to many places.
That was correct. Next question, what are the determinants of demand?
The determinants of demand are price, which is important, income also important, price of related goods, tasted, expectations, and number of buyer. All of this ones play a huge role.
That's right. Next question, what are two ways in which goods can be related? And give me an example of each one of them.
The two ways in which goods can be related are substitutes and complements. An example, Coca-Cola instead of Pepsi would be substitutes, DVD and DVD players would be complement.
That's right. You answer all the questions right, you got the job. You will begin tomorrow at 9, but what to see you 20 minutes early to show you around the place. Congratulations.
By the end of this video, you should be able to explain the law of demand, describe the demand curve, apply demand determinants, and compare the shape of the demand curve with movement along a particular curve. In economic analysis, the concept of demand is used to describe, analyze, and predict the behavior of buyers in market. Demand can be defined as the ability and willingness to buy specific quantities of goods in a given period of time at a particular price ceteris paribus. A demand curve with negative gradient indicates an inverse relation between demand quantity and price level. When price increases, demand quantity decreases, and when price decreases, demand quantity increases. This inverse relationship is referred to as the law of demand. It is important for us to understand the difference between these two terms, changes in quantity demanded and changes in demand. Movement along the demand curve indicates the changes of demand quantity caused by the goods' own price change. This movement is related to the law of demand. When price changes, buyers will make changes to the quantity of the goods they are willing to purchase. Figure 1 shows the concept of changes in quantity demanded. The shift from point A to point B indicates increase in quantity demanded, while shift from point A to point C shows decrease in quantity demanded. Shift in demand curve caused by changes in other determinant variables such as price of particular goods, consumer opinions, and preference are known as demand change. The right shift of demand curve indicates increase in demand, while shift to the left indicates decrease in demand quantity. Figure 2 shows demand change. Shift from demand curve D0 to D2 indicates increase in demand, while shift from D0 to D1 indicates decrease in demand. After knowing the difference between demand change and change of quantity demanded, we will now look at the demand determinants in more detail. Price of related goods. The change in price of goods that are related to a commodity will cause shift in the position of demand curve. There are two types of goods related to a commodity, namely substitute goods in use and complementary goods in use. Substitute goods are goods that can be used as substitute in the use of a commodity. Examples of substitute goods are butter to margarine or meat to fish. Assume the example of substitute goods for meat to fish. When price of meat increases, consumer will reduce the purchase of meat and substitute it by increasing the purchase of fish. As a result, the quantity demanded for meat decreases, while demand for fish increases. The opposite happens when the price of meat decreases. Complementary goods are goods that can be consumed together or to get satisfaction. Examples of complementary goods are car with petrol and pen with ink. Now, assume the example of car with petrol. The price increase from petrol leads to decreased quantity demanded for both petrol and car. The opposite happens if the price of petrol decreases. Next, income. Normally, income is positively related to demand. When income increases, demand also increases, and vice versa. However, this relationship only applies to normal goods. Sometimes, the increase in income will decrease demand for a particular good. This situation happens for inferior goods. Therefore, the relationship between demand and income will give an indication of the type of goods. Next, preference. Consumers have a variety of preferences that change from time to time. When consumers' preference towards a commodity increases, they will tend to make more purchases at every price level. The demand curve for the particular commodity will shift to the right. For example, change in preferences can be seen in the fast food market, such as fried chicken. People in the earlier days would have never imagined consuming chicken without having to incorporate it as a dish to go with their rice. However, due to change in time and advertisement through the media, the preference for such food has increased. Next, prediction on change of price and income in the future. Consumer may be able to predict future changes in price and income. For example, during festive season, if price is expected to increase in future, current demand will increase. On the other hand, current demand will decrease if price and income are expected to decrease in future. As a conclusion, we should be able to understand the law of demand, apply demand determinants and make a comparison between the shift of demand curve with the movement along a curve. Thank you. That's all for video 2. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one.